It is a great honor to stand before you today and share some thoughts on a principle that, while often understated, carries immense power working hard in silence. In a world that thrives on visibility, social media, and constant validation, we often find ourselves caught up in the desire for instant recognition. We feel the need to broadcast every achievement, every milestone, every effort. But let me remind you, true success is not about the applause you receive. It is about the work you put in when no one is watching. In today's world, where success is often measured by visible achievements and social validation, there is a profound truth in focusing on the process rather than the immediate outcome. Working hard in silence shifts our attention away from external recognition and directs it inward, allowing us to prioritize growth, learning, and mastery without the constant need for applause. The real power lies in embracing the journey of hard work, understanding that true success is built upon consistent effort rather than fleeting moments of glory. When we focus on the process, we are not distracted by the desire for instant results. This approach teaches us that progress takes time, and success is often the result of small, incremental steps that may go unnoticed in the short term. In a society driven by quick rewards and the culture of instant gratification, it can be easy to become impatient. We live in a time where likes, shares, and comments provide a sense of immediate satisfaction, but they are not the foundation of lasting success. The process, however, it's about putting in the hours, making mistakes, learning from them, and refining our skills with each day that passes. Success in silence means being patient with oneself and understanding that true mastery of any craft requires sustained effort over time. The satisfaction derived from focusing on the process is not just about achieving results, but about the growth that happens along the way. Working hard in silence allows us to sharpen our abilities, develop discipline, and cultivate a mindset that prioritizes long-term goals over immediate gratification. This quiet dedication is what makes true success sustainable. When we are not distracted by external pressures, we are free to experiment, fail, and evolve. This process of self-improvement may not always be visible to the outside world, but it's where real progress happens. Moreover, working hard in silence builds resilience. Success doesn't come without challenges, and without recognition or external validation, it becomes easier to face obstacles head-on. When we are not concerned with the opinions of others, we can approach each setback with a clear mind, focusing on solutions rather than seeking validation for our efforts. We learn that failure is not the end, but a part of the journey, and resilience is built when we continue moving forward despite the hurdles in our path. It is during these silent moments of struggle and perseverance that we become stronger, more capable, and more confident in our abilities. In addition, working in silence cultivates a deep sense of self-reliance and self-motivation. When we do not rely on others' praise to push us forward, we develop an inner drive to keep going. This internal motivation is often more powerful than any external force. We begin to find fulfillment in the work itself, not in the recognition that may follow. The satisfaction of knowing that we have given our best, regardless of the outcome, brings a sense of peace and contentment that cannot be achieved through external validation alone. Focusing on the process also helps us develop a mindset of continuous improvement. When we are not obsessed with the final result, we can focus on the details, refine our methods, and consistently raise our standards. This mindset ensures that we don't become complacent once we achieve a certain level of success. Instead, we are always looking for ways to evolve and better ourselves, ensuring that our growth is ongoing. Finally, by working hard in silence, we learn to let our results speak for themselves. In the long run, what truly matters is the impact we have through our efforts, not how much recognition we receive along the way. The satisfaction of knowing that we've put in the work and achieved our goals without the need for constant praise is invaluable. The results, whether they be in our career, relationships, or personal development, will eventually show the depth of our dedication. In the end, it is the quiet, consistent work that leads to lasting success. When we focus on the process rather than the outcome, we give ourselves the freedom to grow and succeed on our own terms, knowing that the work we do in silence will eventually speak louder than any words ever could. Working hard in silence offers a unique opportunity for inner growth and self-reflection, away from the distractions and judgments of the outside world. When we are not constantly seeking the approval or recognition of others, we can turn our attention inward, focusing on personal development and improvement. This approach allows us to cultivate our skills, strengthen our character, and build a mindset that is not dependent on external validation. True growth happens when we learn to rely on ourselves, and working silently is one of the most powerful ways to nurture this process. Inner growth begins with the understanding that we are responsible for our own progress. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking constant external feedback or praise to measure our worth. Society, with its emphasis on visible achievements, often encourages us to validate our efforts through the eyes of others. However, the journey of working hard in silence shifts the focus back to what truly matters: our own sense of purpose, commitment, and desire to improve. We no longer need to look for others' approval because we recognize that our true measure of success lies within ourselves. This internal focus fosters the development of new skills and the honing of existing ones. Working quietly without distractions allows us to give our full attention to the task at hand. We can focus on refining our technique, understanding the nuances of our work, and finding ways to improve with each attempt. When we are not distracted by the pressure to perform for others or to showcase our progress, we are free to experiment, make mistakes, and learn at our own pace. This approach leads to a deeper understanding of the work itself and the development of expertise that might not be achieved if we were constantly looking for recognition. Moreover, the time spent in silence also provides us with the opportunity for self-reflection. It allows us to assess our progress honestly without the influence of outside opinions. During these quiet moments, we can evaluate what is working and what isn't, make necessary adjustments, and keep moving forward. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth because it enables us to see our strengths and weaknesses clearly without being clouded by the opinions of others. It is in these moments of introspection that we gain clarity about our goals, motivations, and the path we want to take. The absence of external feedback also helps us build a stronger sense of self-discipline and inner motivation. When we are not looking to others for encouragement or validation, we learn to keep pushing ourselves forward. This self-reliance is essential for long-term success. Without the crutch of external praise, we develop the discipline to continue working toward our goals, even when progress is slow or the results are not immediately visible. It is through this quiet, consistent effort that we build the resilience needed to stay on course, regardless of the challenges we face. This inner motivation is incredibly powerful because it comes from a place of personal commitment and belief in the work itself. Working in silence encourages us to connect with the deeper purpose behind our efforts. It reminds us that the true value of our work lies in the process of growth and self-improvement, not in the external recognition we may receive. This shift in perspective allows us to find fulfillment in the work itself, rather than in the accolades or attention it may bring. As we continue to work quietly, we also begin to recognize the importance of patience. True growth takes time, and the results of our efforts may not be immediately apparent. However, when we focus on the process and stay committed to our goals, we learn to embrace the journey. We understand that the small steps we take today are building a foundation for future success, even if that success is not yet visible. Patience becomes a natural byproduct of working in silence because we trust that our efforts will eventually bear fruit, even if it takes time. In essence, working hard in silence creates an environment that is conducive to deep personal growth. It allows us to hone our skills, reflect on our progress, and develop the self-discipline needed to stay committed to our goals. More importantly, it shifts the focus away from the opinions of others, helping us build an inner foundation of motivation and fulfillment. By choosing to work quietly, we take full ownership of our growth, ensuring that we are constantly moving toward becoming the best version of ourselves. In the end, it is this inner growth achieved through silent dedication that leads to true success. Working hard in silence offers the incredible advantage of avoiding the harmful effects of comparison. In an era dominated by social media where everyone's achievements and progress are broadcasted for the world to see, it's all too easy to become entangled in the trap of comparing ourselves to others. Whether it's in our personal lives, careers, or creative pursuits, this constant exposure to other people's successes can foster feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, or self-doubt. By choosing to work hard in silence, we remove ourselves from this unhealthy cycle, allowing us to stay focused on our own unique journey without being distracted by the achievements of others. One of the most insidious effects of comparison is the way it can undermine our confidence. We may find ourselves measuring our worth based on the accomplishments of others, whether it's a colleague's promotion, a friend's vacation, or an influencer's lifestyle. When we constantly compare our progress to others, we can forget that everyone's path is different. Each person's journey is shaped by their own set of circumstances, opportunities, and challenges. However, when we choose to work quietly and focus solely on our own efforts, we no longer measure ourselves against the standards set by others. Instead, we learn to embrace our own progress, no matter how small, and celebrate the unique steps we are taking toward our goals. The act of working in silence encourages us to recognize and honor our own growth rather than seeking validation from the outside world. We become more attuned to our personal milestones and achievements, no matter how seemingly insignificant they may seem to others. Whether it's learning a new skill, making incremental progress on a long-term project, or simply overcoming a personal challenge, working quietly allows us to appreciate these moments for what they are: proof of our dedication and commitment. We come to understand that progress is not always visible to the naked eye, and that sometimes the most significant growth happens in the quiet, uncelebrated moments. Moreover, when we are not constantly comparing ourselves to others, we are better able to maintain a sense of clarity and focus on our own goals. In the world of social media and constant updates, it's easy to become distracted by what others are doing. We may feel pressure to keep up with trends, pursue the same opportunities, or achieve similar milestones. This can lead to a lack of authenticity in our own work as we chase after goals that are not truly aligned with our values or aspirations. Working hard in silence, however, allows us to filter out external noise and remain true to what we want to achieve. We learn to define success on our own terms based on our personal passions and aspirations rather than conforming to the expectations set by others. By removing the need to compare, we also develop a stronger sense of self-worth and confidence. We realize that we are enough just as we are. The desire for external approval fades, and we become more comfortable with who we are and where we are on our journey. This inner confidence stems from the quiet understanding that our value is not determined by how we stack up against others, but by the effort, dedication, and growth we invest in our own lives. We learn to trust that by focusing on our own path, we will reach our destination in due time. Additionally, working in silence allows us to engage in more meaningful and purposeful work. When we are no longer focused on keeping up with others or seeking validation, we are free to pour our energy into projects and endeavors that truly matter to us. We are more likely to take risks, explore new ideas, and push ourselves beyond our comfort zones because we are not concerned with how our efforts will be perceived by others. This sense of freedom empowers us to be more creative, innovative, and authentic in our work, ultimately leading to greater fulfillment and success. In the end, working hard in silence offers us the invaluable gift of personal clarity and peace of mind. We no longer need to measure our worth based on the standards of others. Instead, we cultivate a sense of self-reliance, pride, and confidence in our own unique journey. By embracing this quiet, focused approach, we allow ourselves to grow at our own pace without the toxic influence of comparison. We learn that true success comes not from competing with others, but from being the best version of ourselves, constantly improving and evolving on our own terms. Working hard in silence fosters the development of resilience and patience, two essential qualities that play a significant role in achieving long-term success. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification, the ability to persevere through challenges without immediate rewards is invaluable. Working quietly allows us to focus on the process itself, not the external validation or acknowledgement we might desire, which in turn builds our capacity to face setbacks with a positive attitude and unwavering determination. Resilience and patience are cultivated over time when we embrace the quiet, consistent effort required to make meaningful progress. The development of resilience through silent work begins with the understanding that challenges and setbacks are inevitable parts of any journey. Whether we are working toward personal growth, professional success, or creative accomplishments, there will always be obstacles to overcome. However, the true test of our character lies in how we respond to these challenges. When we work in silence without the need for validation, we learn to confront difficulties head-on without becoming discouraged. We understand that failure is not the end of the road, but rather an opportunity to learn and improve. Working in silence means we are not looking for sympathy or praise when things go wrong. Instead, we face setbacks with an internal strength that comes from our quiet determination to keep moving forward. Through this silent perseverance, we build a mental and emotional fortitude that allows us to bounce back from failure, disappointment, and frustration. Rather than letting these setbacks define us, we see them as part of the process of growth. Over time, this resilience becomes ingrained in us, making us better equipped to handle future challenges with confidence and poise. We learn that the road to success is rarely a straight path. It is filled with twists, turns, and bumps along the way. But through patience and resilience, we become capable of navigating these challenges with a steady hand, knowing that each step brings us closer to our goals. Patience, too, is a natural byproduct of working hard in silence. In a culture that values speed and instant results, the ability to be patient with our progress is often overlooked. We want quick returns on our investments, whether that be time, money, or effort. However, true success requires the understanding that meaningful achievements take time. Working quietly allows us to detach from the pressure to achieve immediate results and instead focus on the long-term picture. When we invest time and energy into something without expecting immediate recognition, we build the patience necessary to see it through to completion. This sense of patience encourages us to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. We learn to savor the small victories along the way, understanding that each step, no matter how incremental, is an important part of the overall process. In doing so, we foster a deeper sense of fulfillment in our work, knowing that the satisfaction of completing something meaningful is worth the wait. Through working in silence, we also learn to trust the process itself. We stop worrying about how long it takes or how others might perceive our progress, and instead we focus on the quality of the work we are doing. This trust in the process leads to greater peace of mind and a more fulfilling journey toward success. Moreover, working in silence removes the temptation to compare our progress with that of others. In a society where instant feedback is often readily available, it can be easy to feel like we are falling behind when we don't see quick results. However, when we focus on our own journey and embrace the quiet, steady work required to achieve our goals, we are less likely to feel discouraged by the apparent success of others. Instead, we can take pride in our own steady progress, knowing that each effort, no matter how small, is moving us closer to our desired outcome. Ultimately, working hard in silence teaches us that success is not an overnight achievement, but the result of sustained effort, patience, and resilience. By consistently showing up, even when the rewards are not immediately visible, we develop a deeper sense of trust in our own abilities. We learn that the true measure of success is not found in the applause or recognition we receive, but in our ability to persevere through challenges and remain focused on the long-term vision. Through resilience and patience, we become stronger, more capable, and more confident in our ability to overcome whatever obstacles lie ahead, knowing that our silent efforts will ultimately lead to the fulfillment of our goals. Working hard in silence teaches us to let our results speak for themselves, and this shift in focus can be one of the most powerful and rewarding aspects of personal and professional growth. In a world where success is often measured by external validation, whether it be through likes, shares, comments, or applause, there is something incredibly freeing about allowing the quality of our work and the consistency of our efforts to be the true indicators of our success. By choosing to focus on the work itself and removing the need for immediate recognition, we set ourselves on a path where the fruits of our labor naturally speak louder than any words of praise ever could. When we work silently without seeking attention or recognition, we are able to concentrate fully on the task at hand. This freedom from external expectations allows us to pour our energy and focus into the work itself, resulting in outcomes that reflect our true abilities and dedication. Instead of being preoccupied with the approval of others, we commit ourselves to producing work that we can be proud of. Over time, this results in a body of work that is not only high quality, but also meaningful and authentic. Our success becomes defined by the impact of what we create rather than by the amount of attention it receives from the outside world. One of the most profound aspects of letting our results speak for themselves is the deep sense of fulfillment it brings. There is a unique satisfaction that comes from knowing that you've given your best, regardless of whether anyone notices or acknowledges it. The act of creating something with passion, dedication, and authenticity provides a sense of inner accomplishment that cannot be found in external recognition. This sense of fulfillment is long-lasting and rooted in the knowledge that our worth is not dependent on the approval of others, but on our commitment to doing our best. Moreover, letting our results speak for themselves also builds a sense of integrity. When we are not focused on garnering praise or attention, we remain true to our values and purpose. We do not compromise the quality of our work in exchange for the fleeting satisfaction of recognition. Instead, we create with integrity, knowing that the impact of our efforts will ultimately reveal itself. This commitment to authenticity not only strengthens our sense of self-worth, but also enhances the value of the work we produce. When others see the results of our silent labor, they recognize the dedication and authenticity behind it, which in turn garners respect and admiration. Another benefit of working in silence is that it encourages us to develop a long-term perspective. Success is not a one-time event or a series of quick wins. It is the cumulative result of consistent effort over time. By focusing on the work itself rather than on the immediate recognition it may or may not receive, we learn to embrace the journey. We understand that real success comes from sustained effort, and we trust that over time, the results of our hard work will become evident. This long-term perspective keeps us motivated and committed even when the rewards are not immediately apparent. The silent work we put in today will eventually yield results that speak volumes, and we learn to trust in the process of growth. Furthermore, when we let our results speak for themselves, we also create a lasting legacy. Our work becomes the proof of our efforts, and it endures beyond the moment of its creation. Whether it's in the form of a successful project, a meaningful relationship, or a creative achievement, the results of our silent labor become a testament to our dedication and resilience. This legacy is more powerful and enduring than any temporary recognition we might receive because it is based on the substance of our work, not the attention it garnered at the time. This focus on letting results speak also encourages a mindset of continuous improvement. When we are not seeking immediate recognition, we are more likely to engage in self-reflection and seek ways to improve. We can assess our work honestly, make adjustments, and strive for even better outcomes. This constant drive for improvement helps us grow both personally and professionally, and it ensures that the results we produce are always of the highest quality. Over time, this dedication to excellence becomes ingrained in our work ethic, and the results naturally reflect this commitment. Ultimately, working hard in silence and letting our results speak for themselves fosters a sense of fulfillment, integrity, and authenticity that can't be replicated through external validation. It shifts our focus from the fleeting nature of recognition to the lasting impact of our work. When we dedicate ourselves to the process, knowing that the true measure of success is found in the work itself, we create a lasting legacy that speaks louder than any applause ever could. This shift in mindset allows us to find greater satisfaction and meaning in what we do, knowing that our efforts, though silent, are leading us toward the success we seek. Working hard in silence provides a profound sense of self-satisfaction that can be far more fulfilling than any external recognition or praise. In a world where validation often comes from the opinions of others, whether in the form of compliments, accolades, or social media likes, the true joy of accomplishment comes when we are content with knowing that we gave our best, regardless of whether anyone notices. This internal fulfillment is rooted in a deep sense of pride and self-respect, where the focus shifts from seeking approval to finding meaning in the work itself. The value of our efforts is no longer dependent on external feedback, but on the quiet confidence we build by knowing that we are doing our best. When we work in silence, there is a natural shift from being externally driven to being intrinsically motivated. The satisfaction of completing a task or reaching a goal becomes something we own for ourselves, and this sense of self-fulfillment is powerful. Rather than relying on others to validate our efforts, we learn to recognize and appreciate the progress we make along the way. This internal validation becomes more meaningful because it is not fleeting. It is based on our own internal standards and the knowledge that we have put in the necessary work. This shift from seeking external praise to finding satisfaction within ourselves is an empowering experience, as it allows us to take full ownership of our successes and failures. The sense of fulfillment that comes from working silently also encourages us to develop a stronger connection with our work. When we aren't focused on the need for approval, we are able to fully immerse ourselves in the task at hand. This deeper connection allows us to enjoy the process itself, regardless of the outcome. We find joy in the small victories, the moments when we make progress, learn something new, or overcome an obstacle without needing anyone else to acknowledge it. This intrinsic enjoyment of the work itself leads to a greater sense of fulfillment as we come to realize that success is not only about the end result, but about the journey we take to get there. Moreover, the quiet satisfaction of knowing we did our best provides a sense of peace that external validation often cannot offer. In a world where success is often tied to public acknowledgement, working silently allows us to detach from the pressures of competition and comparison. We are no longer constantly measuring our worth against others or seeking approval from external sources. Instead, we become more centered and focused on our own path, free from the anxiety that comes with constantly wondering if we are meeting others' expectations. This peace of mind is invaluable, as it allows us to work with a clear sense of purpose, knowing that our efforts are enough, even if no one else notices. Working hard in silence also cultivates resilience. When we don't rely on external recognition, we are better equipped to face setbacks and challenges with a positive attitude. We understand that failure is not a reflection of our worth, but an inevitable part of the journey toward success. This resilience is not driven by the need for validation, but by an inner commitment to our goals and a belief in our ability to overcome obstacles. Even when our work goes unrecognized, we continue to push forward because our motivation comes from within, not from external praise. This self-reliance builds a sense of confidence and mental toughness as we learn to trust in our own abilities to succeed, regardless of the external environment. Additionally, the satisfaction of working hard in silence fosters a sense of gratitude for the process itself. We come to appreciate the effort and discipline required to achieve our goals, knowing that true success is not measured by how quickly we reach the finish line, but by how much we grow along the way. The quiet dedication to our work teaches us to value the small, often overlooked aspects of the journey, such as the lessons learned, the skills developed, and the inner growth that occurs when we challenge ourselves. This deeper appreciation for the process itself leads to a more profound sense of fulfillment as we realize that the work itself is just as valuable as the end result. Finally, when we work hard in silence and find fulfillment in doing our best, we set a powerful example for others. By focusing on the quality of our work rather than on external validation, we show others that success does not need to be dependent on recognition or praise. This example encourages others to find fulfillment within themselves, helping to foster a culture of intrinsic motivation and personal growth. By prioritizing the satisfaction that comes from within, we create an environment where individuals are empowered to pursue their goals with dedication, knowing that their efforts are valuable even if no one else sees them. In conclusion, working hard in silence provides a sense of self-satisfaction that is both lasting and meaningful. It allows us to find fulfillment in the process itself, free from the need for external validation. This inner satisfaction comes from knowing that we gave our best regardless of the outcome. It fosters self-respect, peace of mind, and resilience, and encourages a deeper connection with our work. Ultimately, the quiet fulfillment of doing our best becomes one of the most rewarding aspects of our journey, as it reinforces the belief that our worth is not defined by the recognition we receive, but by the effort we put forth.